progressively better, and every day they go on, they learn something in their weather operations, something that they recall the next day and change the game plan.
And like if someone's seen this, they would try to discredit this and say, no, this is fake, this is this is that.
Photoshop.
Oh,
Yeah, Photoshop, whatever. I mean, how do you...
When I say Photoshop, get your camera and start shooting it yourself. There's no reason to Photoshop when you go out in the sky and get your own pictures. It's just that simple. You know, anybody can do this. Anybody can do what I've done. Anybody. And many have. Many have. I have more stuff that's come in that I can't write back to all those people that send me stuff. It's just not possible. Well, it is, but I'm not going to lose myself. You know, but I think they've just gotten better so you don't have these incredible wave displays like we saw 20 years ago. However, we still have subtle waves.
Crazy things.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? I mean,
yeah, we used to see that over the ocean all the time.
and the oceans are wonderful playgrounds for this. They can send out ships, they can observe, it's water rich, it's largely stable with the marine layer, and they can play to their heart's content. Yeah, I think people on cruises see more stuff than we do as men. But this was an interesting day. This was a series of 3 photographs, and you can see, I mean, there's energy, directed energy strikes. All of these clouds are man-made. You can see the iridescence from the chemicals. And a couple of them, there's actually orbs that are up on this side. And so I have not wondered if they put the trails out there and they create this metallic sheen in the sky, and when you have visitors come in, they have to break this layer that a current has run across. Much like if you want to teach a child not to wet the bed, you put in a special kind of sheet. And when they start to pee, you create a current, you wake them up. So that when you then layer the atmosphere with this thin metal, and you have a soft circuit come through it, that they don't get to work. And yeah, there's a lady, a PhD. Her name is Johnston. She was at Puget Sound. She passed 2 years ago, and her book was Chemtrails as a UFO Defense Mechanism. And again, so many photographs and videos we've got of chemtrails showing up, and there's energy activity, there's UFO activity. Ours and other nations are off-world. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. They tend to squawk themselves when they come in. Yeah, so there's always a comedian in the crowd, and we're starting to get more art, and I like the flyer to camera. Was that your artwork, Cameron?
Well, I think it did a guy, basically did a hand drawing of it, and I think it did a guy did on a computer.
Yeah. So it's, you know, it's slowly getting out there, and
Just in this one? Can't read it.
Yeah, it's tough to
Check
read.
some more up there.
Yeah, it's just a checkerboard. What do you mean? It's just about sharing, kind of sharing awareness, seeing the skies. They've been jacking for weather for decades, and now it's finally coming back to bite them. Watch are going to make it rain. And that's crazy. People can't control the weather and make rain at will. Crazy? No, look up the truth. WeatherWars, man. So it's just, and it is. In so many ways, it's the perfect weapon. Why? It's a secret. You know.
Keep the aliens out.
Well, no, the perfect weapon is the weapon they don't see you bring you on. You know, they just, if it's out of left field, if it's something that they've not planned for, then it's the perfect weapon. You know, it's just, so. Yeah.
Somebody asked me during this about the Disney cartoons, all the animation with all the chemtrails.
Do you guys remember seeing the animated show Cars? I think it was Cars Over the Hedge.
It was cars over the head.
Cars over the Hedge. Animation is so good now. I mean, it's almost photorealistic. So when they're going to throw up a background and animate in front of it with the So when they shoot the sky, and if there's trails in the sky, those trails are going to make it into the animation. What's fascinating, though, is it has to go through the art director. I mean, that art director has to say yes or no to that clip being included as the background for the piece. And I think it's Cars, where there is no photorealistic background. It's just all blue sky. But the only clouds in the animated piece, Cars, are the trails. It's unreal that they were that blatant with it. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So they're putting it in the consciousness. And it's there with the kids from the time they're, how old? It's whenever they watch the movie. So it's there and it's accepted. It's okay. It's part of the reality you are to expect. We're there. So, unreal. Unreal. Do you think the 3 stages? It's ignored, it's ridiculed, minds, and second itself. I suppose that since we're all here, we're probably at that 3rd stage of this particular issue. You know, because I went through the 3 stages with this. I really did. I didn't have a lot of viewers write me about the chemtrails. Maybe before I kind of started investigating it on my own, maybe 2, which wasn't enough. But I could easily, through my understanding of the atmosphere and my visualization that I already had in me about how the flight patterns worked, planes leaving and then the atmosphere moves and then the next plane flies by and the next one flies, that I could see a regular grid pattern being established with the regularity of those flights through specific channels. You know, and I was okay to sit in that reality. And it wasn't until I was probably 4 years into investigating this that I was out on my front yard, August of 2004. Beautiful, beautiful day. Very few clouds in the sky, maybe a few puffy cumulus. And then from the northwest, or the northeast to the southwest, comes this 747. I'm sitting outside talking with my neighbor Max, and she's a sweetie, and when she comes over, you're there for a while. You know those. So, you know, I look up because I hear the plane coming. I'm like, holy crap, that thing's low. I'm like, where's it going? And it was no higher than 23,000 feet. The thing was low. And it was slow. I'm like, that's not right. And I'm like, that's one of those planes. That's a chemtrail. So I'd seen hundreds of pictures by this point. I'd been through Clevercon's work. I, you know, was aware of the bio and, you know, all of the conspiracy out there. But until I saw it for myself, I wasn't on board. But even seeing that plane, which then let me put it into context of what was going on that day, which was weather-wise, nothing. Nothing was going on. But it still bisected the sky. I still didn't know why. And we had the 4 tubes left over as that powder slowly dissipated. The 4 tubes meaning the engines. And it wasn't until that winter I bought 4 cameras and bought 2 computers and hooked a FireWire camera and a USB camera up to each computer. One ran Logitech and one ran another time-lapse software program. So I had a camera or a computer running 2 cameras. And for 4 months I was just curious in the clouds. I wanted to see the clouds. I wanted to see the waves. I wanted to see some weird stuff happen. And it was in April of 2005 that looking out towards the southwest, again, another day with very few clouds in the sky, and it was on a cheap little $99 webcam, little Logitech or webcam, that I saw all in about 12 minutes. Something with that spot had their attention. Why that spot? And so I think 2 days later, I was out with the dogs, and there were some of these cirrus clouds, and the planes were going right through the cirrus clouds. There was like the little energy disruptions, bursts, right across the center of them. I thought, they're just up there walking. They know where these little cirrus bursts are. And so I